You read books in English and understand 99.9% of the information. You watch movies and TV shows in English and barely even look at the subtitles. Your job requires you to go through tons and tons of documents written in formal English. You do all of this pretty well, but there is still one small but. You still can't speak English. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where I give you tips on how you can improve your English and stay motivated and committed to your language learning journey. Today, I wanted to talk about a very interesting phenomena when people generally have a really good command of a language, but unfortunately, they can't speak fluently. So this video is going to be me talking about all the possible reasons why this is happening to you and how you can fix this. So I feel like the main reason goes back to when you first started learning English. I feel like a lot of us start learning English when we're at school. And at school, we're usually taught grammar. Obviously, grammar is important. I don't want to downplay the importance of grammar. If you want to have a good level at English, if you want to achieve high results, you need to have good grammar, but not at the expense of speaking. And I feel like when we first start learning a language, any foreign language really, we're just too afraid to speak. So naturally, what we do is we focus all our attention on grammar. But this is the main problem here, guys. Obviously, you should learn grammar, but you should never forget that language is a tool for communication. And if you can't speak, then that's a big problem. Even if you know all the grammar in the world, if you can't speak, how are you going to communicate? But I know you're probably gonna tell me, Veronica, I'm a beginner or I'm an intermediate student and I don't really know what to do because I only feel comfortable learning grammar and that's it. Maybe reading or watching something, but not speaking. Speaking is really scary to me. Obviously, if right now you're too afraid to actually speak to real people, don't. Start with something small. So what you can do is obviously create small sentences about your life. For example, even when you're doing grammar, if you're learning present simple or present continuous, for example, you can create a small sentence and just say it aloud. For example, you can say, I am reading a book in English. I am typing on my computer. So for example, if you're learning present continuous, right? Creating sentences that reflect your life, reflect your experiences is a very good technique, because this way you will feel less stressed and less anxious that you need to learn so many new words, to create very complicated sentences. No, you actually don't, because even when you start communicating with real people, you'll find yourself talking about basic things like your life, your job, your family, your country, like really, really basic stuff. Next, when you establish this good base of really simple sentences, you should really work on phrasal verbs. And there is a reason why I really love them. I especially love phrasal verbs, maybe even idioms in the future, but phrasal verbs is really something you should focus a lot of your attention on. And the reason why I love phrasal verbs so much is that native speakers use them every single day. They use them in their daily conversations, they use them in formal and informal conversations, and this is a great thing that can really boost your fluency, that can make other people think that, wow, your English is actually really, really good. And again, here you might ask me a question. Where do I find all of these useful phrasal verbs? Because obviously there's just so many formal, outdated phrasal verbs that maybe people don't really use in their daily lives, right? But here I generally recommend one thing. If you go on YouTube and Google any vlogs, travel vlogs, any really kind of video that you're interested in, you will find that people use a lot of phrasal verbs. Just try to be really conscious when a person is using phrasal verb, for example. Recently, I watched a video and the girl there was talking about how she needs to pick up a drink from Starbucks. Pick something up is a really, really common phrasal verb when people talk about drinks, when they talk about packages, right? If you have a package waiting for you at the post office, you can also say, I need to go pick it up. And here, again, coming back to my first tip, try to create a sentence about you. So for example, using this pick something up, this phrasal verb, you can say that right now I need to go to Starbucks and pick up my order, for example, or to any other place, to any other restaurant. Or maybe you have a package waiting for you at the post office that you need to pick up. So this is just basically what you do. And this is something that will help you master the most commonly used phrasal verbs, because YouTube is a great resource that we have. It has so many great videos of so many great people who just talk about their daily lives, and I'm sure a lot of the things they do, you do too. So that's how you can create more sentences about your life. And now let's move on to the next reason why you might have problems speaking in English and feeling confident and fluent enough to actually start a conversation in English. I find that a lot of people are being way too harsh on themselves. And this is actually where being perfect comes in. I feel like a lot of people really do have this problem with being perfect. And guys, to be honest, I think I sometimes still do have this problem, even though I try to obviously work on it, because perfect is what is being perfect, you know? Being perfect is one thing for one person and a completely different thing for another person. So we can say that it's impossible to be perfect, you know? So forget about it and don't be too harsh on yourself. Think about your native language for a second. Just, you know, forget about English. Think about your native language. Are you perfect in your native language? Do you ever make mistakes in your native language? You're probably gonna say, yes, I actually do make mistakes when I speak my own mother tongue. And it's totally fine, guys, because just sometimes we forget a word, even in our native languages. Sometimes we need time to think, you know, because we feel like maybe it's not the best way to structure our thoughts, to structure a sentence. So why are you being too harsh on yourself in English when even in your own native language, you make mistakes, you need time to think, you sometimes use weird words, weird combinations, you know? And think about how many times you use the wrong words in your own native language. And then I feel like it might help you to be less critical towards your English skills. And here I actually wanted to give you like a small tip that maybe for some people is not that obvious. And the tip is about using filler words. A lot of people hate them when it comes to writing essays or writing in general, because obviously even when you write in your own journal, you don't really want to use like, well, I don't know, you know, too much, because it's a little bit weird. But when you speak, it's totally okay. Obviously, try to not overuse them because it's a problem too. You don't want your speech to sound like I don't really know, you know, it's just not beautiful at all. And the main problem here is that you're not really conveying anything, right? So if you feel like you need time to think, just be silent. It's totally okay to have quiet pauses where you think. I feel like nowadays we're so afraid of silence, you know? We need to fill up every single quiet moment of our days, of our speech. And here I feel like something that can help you become better with words is journaling. So again, it ties in with my first couple of tips when I was talking about creating sentences about your life. And what helps a lot of people is writing down those sentences. So when you first start creating sentences about yourself, maybe they're going to be very simple, you know, like I like this, I don't like this, I live in this country. But then try to maybe journal about your day, like what you did today, what you're planning to do next, how you feel right now. Again, all of these sentences are going to be about you. And maybe after writing all of those things down, try to read, you know, and repeat and talk a little bit. Even if you're going to be talking to yourself, it's totally fine. But again, guys, here, the most important thing is that you're talking about something that is important to you, right? If you're very passionate about a certain thing, you will be interested in it and you will naturally be able to speak faster and more fluently if this topic really interests you. And so now I guess I can move on to my last tip, which is about not speaking enough. Unfortunately, guys, however harsh and unpleasant it might sound, you just need to speak as much as possible. If you want to be great at speaking, cooking. Unfortunately, you have to practice speaking, you know, like with everything in life. If you want to be good at cooking, you can't just sit and not do anything and say, you know, I wish I was a great chef. You actually need to start cooking, but do anything. Maybe you could find a language partner, right? Do some kind of language exchange where you could help them speak your native language and they will help you practice English, and it's going to be free for both of you. And also another place where you can practice English is speaking clubs. You might have like your own local English speaking club, or you might attend online meetings of an online English speaking club. For example, I have my own speaking club. It doesn't really matter, whatever you prefer. So guys, I think I'm going to finish this video up on this note. I really hope all of those tips were useful. I really hope now you feel like you're gonna work on your speaking, you're really gonna take it seriously, because guys, remember, language is a tool for communication. One day you'll have to speak English, and I just want you to be prepared. And if you're interested in other tips that can help you become more fluent, I have a whole playlist on my channel all about becoming more fluent. So you can click right here and enjoy more videos.